Dun da da da! Presenting Romania! Woo woo woo! It is month numero 9. And I'm here at Puzzle Hostel giving you, Paoli, the grand tour. I'm very excited to be here. It's very much like America, which is lovely, so hat off to Europe. But yeah, I'm going to give you the grand tour of where we've been staying. So let's begin. Here is our front patio. You've got a clothesline and everything. Here are some friends. Hello, and next to Jack is this ping pong table, which is awesome, and we played like 2 times. Now, we'll keep going up the steps. And here's the office. You can say hello, John. It's our friend John, and this is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Manager of the hostel.
From Georgia.
From America.
The state, not the republic.
And then, oh, I forgot the drum roll. Brrr. Here is our lovely abode. Here's Miss Karen. Hello. She'll give you the tour. Just kidding. But, okay. Here is lovely Ashley in her bed. Right to the left, you see a couch, also serving as my bed during the night. Behind her, Miss Claire. And above her would be Lynn if she was in her bed. Then it's Kate. Then Karen. Yes, you can see her. And the rest of the room is non-existent. Yay. Thanks, guys. There's awesome. There's my awesome team, newly named Freedom Bound 317. Hoo-hoo! Okay. Lovely, lovely. Now let me show you the rest. Here is one of 2 bathrooms. Nothing special about that. And where we'll do the rest of the interview is in our lovely state-of-the-art kitchen. Da, 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 da. And here it is. We have a beautiful dining room table, a stove, which is pretty much like America, other than you have to use matches to light it. Microwave only works 50% of the time, but toaster oven and coffee maker work 100% of the time. And check out this bad boy, the gem of the kitchen. Oh yeah, that's a washer machine. Woo! So, like I said, we're doing pretty good with life right now. We have the top accommodations. We've got a washer machine. We've got free Wi-Fi. We've got air conditioning. We've got free breakfast. Complimentary, Mom. You'd like that. And that's pretty much everything. But 3 new things that are pretty beautiful. So we're happy. You may be wondering what we're doing this month, or my mom might have told you, but it's something called ATL ministry, which means Ask the Lord. So basically that means we wake up every day and we pray and see what the Lord wants us to do, and then we try our best to be obedient and do it. And so the reason why we're staying at a hostel is actually because at the beginning of the month we prayed about what we could expect for Romania, and one of the things he put on our heart is hostel. So we wanted to be obedient to that, and so thus we are here while in the city of Bucharest. To tell you about my month, it has been a huge learning month. And what I mean when I say that is God has definitely been stretching me in the fact that ATL ministry has become my ideal ministry because it's completely spirit-led. We don't have a contact. We don't have a city to live in. We don't have a budget, really. So it's pretty much as close to regular living as you can be. But the difference is that everything we do is through seeking out the Lord and asking for His direction, instead of getting sent a sheet of paper which tells us where and when we have to be somewhere or do something. And so I've been so excited to see what the Lord would do in that time. And I was expecting these huge things. I mean, you guys have been there to read my blogs. We've had a church come out of nowhere and just be risen up, and 40 plus people come to Christ in the midst of that. I've found Bibles at a dump. I don't think I've written that story yet, but you'll hear about it once I get home if I don't get to write a blog on it. I've just I've been led to the dump by the Lord to work at a garbage disposal place. And just God has been everywhere. And so, going into this month, I thought I was going to see people healed and people rise from the dead. I don't know, crazy biblical things, And not to say that God hasn't been faithful, because he absolutely has. But he's definitely showed up in ways that are different than I expected. And the biggest lesson that he's been trying to teach me is to just be obedient. And when I hear his whisper, to follow it, even if I don't see the results or I have no idea why he told me to do it, just to be diligent in listening to him. And so it's been really good, but it's also been really hard, because there's been a lot of days, every day pretty much, that we've been obedient. We've followed him. There's one day he said, take a new route. And so we literally walked around the city going on streets we've never been on for 2.5 hours, just praying. And, we didn't see anything huge come out of that. But I know the power of prayer works, and I know that praying can save people from things. So who knows what darkness or just whatever was brewing in those areas that we walked through. But I know God was moving. And another day I heard, follow the music. And so we started randomly walking once again. But of course it wasn't so random, because the Lord knew what was going to happen. And we ended up meeting this guy named Andreas, and from Sweden. And he just came up to us and asked us where we were from, because he had heard us speaking English. And then he was like, oh, well, would you mind if I walked with you? I happen to be in a band here for a music festival, and all my bandmates are still sleeping, so I have no one to tour the city with. And we were like, okay, well, there's no more of a clear direction of follow the music than to follow this musician right around the city who knew how to get around. And so we followed him for the whole day and went and had coffee and just, had a good time getting to know this new man. But again, I don't know why we met him. I don't know what that did for the kingdom. I can't hold it in my hand and say, this is why. And so a lot of this month has just been about us hearing what God is saying and us just being willing to follow it, even if we don't understand why or see the purpose in it. And so that's definitely been hard for me, because I am a tangible type of person. I like to see the results of what I'm doing. But it's been really incredible, because I know that that's what ministry is probably going to look like when I get home. I'm not always going to have some big picture of why I'm doing something. I'm going to have to be really observant to just hearing him and being willing to do whatever he asks, even if I don't understand fully why. And so for that, I'm really thankful. And as some of you may have heard, I've had a lot of people from home come and visit me. First and foremost was my lovely mother, who came at the first week of my trip in Romania. And then just this past week, my best friend Sarah also came, who's been living in Greece. And so talk about God trying to prepare me for what it looks like to go home. He's sent me two of my dearest people from home to me, which is just something that I never thought would be possible. At the start of the race, they told us we could have no one visit us, but it's just been totally God's provision that both of them were able to come, and I just see the purpose in it. Because it's just strengthened my faith so much and just reinforced the freedoms I've been given since being on this trip. To just have members of my family come and experience the race with me, and I'm so tremendously thankful for that. But also to just see what life looks like here, and so when I bring it back home, it won't seem so foreign because I'll have some people who have witnessed it for themselves, and so God has just been wowing me this month. I'm so overwhelmed, quite frankly, with the whole thing. Romania has definitely been a taste of home, not just because of the amenities, which have been huge. I mean, we haven't had running water in months, and just air conditioning, forget about it. It's still very hot, so still working on 9 months of summer. But then when we get in our room, we can set it at whatever temperature we want, and that's just crazy. And it's definitely different being around all the consumerism again, and there's, shopping malls. There's even a Starbucks down the street. So it's definitely something we have to ward ourselves off from temptation to get sucked into that lifestyle again. But overall, things have been really wonderful here. Tomorrow is our last day here in Bucharest, and then we're finishing up our month in Brajov, the city that my team started in, but I was with my mom for, so I didn't spend it with them. But it's a more northern city, and the crazy thing is I don't know what that week will hold for us. We literally have no plan other than going to the city, and so we'll just see what God puts in front of us. But I'm doing really well, getting really eager to go home. Quite frankly, I'm fighting to stay excited about being here because I'm just so excited to be home with you guys. And especially just because this country reminds me so much of home, and so many people from home have come and visited me, and I know that the Lord is just molding me more and more each day to be prepared for what He has in store back in Paoli. For me, but I also know that he asked me to sign up for something for 11 months, not 9 months, and so I have 2 more months that are critical to whatever he's trying to mold me into, and I will be the first to say that I have much to learn. But I miss you guys a lot. And but I'm so thankful to be here. It is. I wish you guys were alongside of me. I know you are in spirit though, and even through these videos I can feel you next to me. And so I thank you for just the time that you've invested into me. It means more than you know. And I just can't wait till I can have lunch dates or coffee dates with you guys, or just sit with you a couple hours after church, whatever it looks like, whatever God has in store. If you've been talking to Pastor Tracy, he might have rumors going around, I'm not sure, but the Lord has certainly been talking to me a lot about Paoli, and I'm still trying to discern what my role will be back at home, but it's an answered prayer, quite frankly, to want to be home. I prayed before I left on this trip that I would lose my desire to be nomadic and actually want to stay put for some time. Of course, that sometime looks different for everybody, right? And especially for someone who stays 1 month in a place, it looks different. I don't know if it's 6 months or if it's a year or however long, but I'm just excited to be home with you guys. And but I want you to know that the Lord is so good, and He has been loving me so well. I am blown away by it, quite frankly. Like, I am literally the only person who has had their best friend visit, and I am one of 11 people who has had their mother visit. And they both happened in the same month. Like, it's just, I think I'm going to be writing a blog about it, so you might hear more about everything that's going on in my head about the whole thing, but the sum of the story is God loves us all so much, and He shows it to us in different ways that are unique to us because He is a beautiful creator and has created us all differently with different passions and excitements. And so He knows that people are what give me joy, and so to have sent 2 of them to me, especially my mom, obviously means the world to me. So anyway, sorry, it's all a whirlwind over here, and I know that I'm just probably running around in circles right now, but basically the extent is I'm in month 1 of Europe, and I love it. I'm definitely having to fight, like I said, just a desire to be home. And, it's one thing when things look totally different, you can be in that mindset of a different culture. But when things start looking a lot like America and not having a contact, we don't have a translator, and most Romanians do not speak English. And so that's definitely been a roadblock for us. But of course, it's not a roadblock because the Lord knew that was going to happen, and just He's put everything into place that He ordained to happen. You know what I mean? So we've had the conversations we were supposed to have, and people have been drawn to us if they spoke English, and divine appointments have certainly been happening. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy over here, but I am eternally thankful for just the opportunity to be learning what I'm learning and just being blessed with the gift of time. So, here's my message from Romania. I hope to be talking to you guys again, of course, a month from now in my next country of Moldova/Transnistria. I think that's how you say it, is the country we're going to be in. It's part of Moldova, but it's not exactly, I'm not sure, Wikipedia to figure out the real logistics, but basically Transnistria thinks they're a country, but I don't think Moldova recognizes them as one, so it's all kinds of complicated. But anyway, I love you guys so much. I miss you. I'm thinking of you, praying for you. You guys are just continually in my thoughts, and I'm just really proud of who you are and what you represent. And every time I speak of your name, I just am filled with blessings because you guys are so amazing. So thank you for just being exactly who you are, and I love and miss you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.